I think this is the kind of shit that gets somebody put on a list. So fun fact about me, my favorite Five Nights at Freddy's character is Glamrock Chica, who is the subject of this video. She makes me happy, I love her character design and personality, and I just think she's a really, really good character in the franchise. So I thought it'd be kind of funny if I collected every single piece of merchandise related to her. Cause, you know, that's just a funny little thing to do. It doesn't cost hundreds of dollars or anything. So over the years, I've been collecting a large amount of Glamrock Chica related memorabilia. The thing is that outside of probably the main four animatronics, Golden Freddy and Springtrap, the Glamrocks are easily the most merchandised characters in the entirety of Five Nights at Freddy's. You will just find tons and tons and tons of Glamrock merch because these characters are immensely popular, and not to mention they also have their shattered and ruined forms, which will get merch at times, even if it's not a ton of it. People really do love the Glamrock designs, even if people are mixed on Security Breach itself. I would still argue a majority of people find the Glamrock designs to be very appealing, and would like to buy a little piece of merchandise of them. So that's why so much of it has been made. I'm still missing quite a bit of things. Mainly, one of the things I'm missing is this pair of Hot Topic socks, which have been a pain in the ass to track down because it's a really obscure pair of socks, and I really doubt most people are going to have an unworn pair of socks that they're ready to just sell on a whim from like 3 or 4 years ago. And while my setup specifically here is kind of rough, I do want to update it over time, and I decided I'd go over it in today's video just because I want to talk about it in its current form, and it would be nice to do little update videos on all this stuff eventually, so we're gonna get started with that. Starting at the top shelf, this is more or less the plushie shelf where I keep plushies from different brands like, you know, Funko and Good Stuff and U2s and Hex and Sanchi. Pretty much all the main FNAF plush companies have made a Glamrock Chica plush in some capacity. So we're gonna start with these three at the front here. Here are the three Funko Glamrock Chica plushies. First up in the center is the re-release of Glamrock Chica. This is actually the second version that they made around when Security Breach came out, like late 2021, early 2022. As you can see, the touch tag has a 2022 Scott Cawthon date on it, as well as a Security Breach hang tag. Now, this versus the plush over here, which is the original Glamrock Chica release from 2020, this is pretty different. For one, the hang tag is just a regular Five Nights at Freddy's plush tag. You could find this tag on releases such as the Phantom BB plush or the Security Puppet plush. Actually, I think the Security Puppet plush did have a Pizzeria Simulator tag. Either way, around this time, a lot of standard FNAF plushies would receive this tag. I'm pretty sure actually Spring Bonnie got this tag too. Yeah, you can see on the touch tag it says 2020 Scott Cawthon, and the biggest difference between this and the re-release is that the scratchy, terrible, awful fabric that feels rough to hold is prominently featured on these versions of the Security Breach plushies, whereas the re-release of these plushies has a much more softer fabric, so, you know, they fix these eventually for the full release. But yeah, it's not exactly the paint prettiest picture for these original ones, but thankfully I managed to still find one tagged. And then around the same time that the reissues came out, Funko also released a set of 4 Blacklight Glamrock exclusives to Hot Topic, and this is the Glamrock Chica one. You can see the hang tag as Hot Topic exclusive. Unfortunately, it got a little crinkled, I think, I think when I was traveling with it, but it is what it is. It's not the most noticeable thing in the world. But yeah, she's got all these nice colors. I actually really do like these plushies compared to the actual, like, regular FNAF Blacklight plushies, because I feel like these just fit the aesthetic a lot better, and I think that this matches Security Breach's vibe and the Glamrocks in general better than just the main 4 FNAF animatronics being like multicolored. Like, I don't know, this just feels like it's a lot more aesthetically pleasing to me. And then over here we have another 3 Glamrock Chica plushies. All of these are somewhat customized by me, and like while they are technically not official pieces of merch, I figured I should still throw them in the collection, because why not? First up is the custom Glamrock Chica plush that I made for videos. This is one that was used on screen for the Five Nights at Freddy's plush series I made on my main channel for 10 years. As you can see, I customized it to make it look a little bit better. I did that for all the Glamrocks because their plushie designs are pretty lackluster in my opinion. I do actually think that Glamrock Chica was the best in that regard. I think she looked the most consistent with her game counterpart, though I did still add a couple touches like the earrings and the lipstick. Her head honestly looks kind of bald without the earrings, I'm not gonna lie, like it just doesn't look completely right, but I think adding them makes her look a little bit more like herself. As you can see, there's no hang tag or touch tag because this was used for screen appearances and videos, and I wanted her her to look a little bit more like she was a part of the world and such. Here is a Shattered Chica plushie custom that I made that was also used on screen of the plush series. This was actually modified from my very first Glamrock Chica custom that I made when the 2020 Funko plushies came out, and later was turned into Shattered Chica. There's the original versions of the earrings that I believe was on the leaked calendar art before they were changed for the final game. And you can just see overall this is just a lot of hot glue bits and Sharpie, and it doesn't look the best, but it worked well for videos. And there's no actual Shattered Chica plush, so I feel like it's nice to have this in the collection. Maybe I'll make a ruined Funko Glamrock Chica plush one day. I don't know, we'll see. I think that could be kind of cute, but who knows at this point. And lastly, for Funko Customs, we have a Circus Chica plush that was used in the FNAF Carnival episode from Season 6. All the other circus designs from FNAF Balloon Circus received plushies except for Chica, which was upsetting because she is easily the most distinct out of the four, being more based off of Glamrock Chica's color palette, which is the entire reason she's even in this collection, and the other various pieces of Circus Chica merch are here, is because I think she kind of counts as a Glamrock Chica variant. Like, obviously, she isn't Glamrock Circus Chica or something like that. However, I think it's pretty obvious that this character's color palette and her overall vibe is very much based on Glamrock Chica, so it just makes sense to include her here, and it's nice to kind of fluff out the collection with a couple extra pieces. It's not like they really made a ton of Circus Chica stuff outside of this figure and then the mystery minis, so I think having her here is fine. Next up, going right to left, is the 3 Good Stuff plushies. These are all released in carnivals typically. This is the smallest variant of plushie you can get. You'll notice that it has this little string on the head, as well as the very large hang tag. There's a security reach hang tag. Mostly printed. They use this very like marshmallow chibi style for these. I actually think these are very cute for Good Stuff releases. Normally they just kind of look like diet versions of the Funko or Sanchi plushies, but for these ones they went with a completely unique style, and I think it works really, really well for that. Here's the next largest size. I believe this is the 8-inch variant of this plush, or I think it's 8 or 11 inch. I'm not really sure specifically what the sizing is. There's the touch tag, the hang tag, and then the little string on the head. I'd like to thank Chaz for buying this for me. He got this for me a couple months ago, I think as like a Christmas gift or whatever, and it was very nice of him. So yeah, thank you for that. I'm going to be attributing certain people to certain pieces in this collection because they gave it to me for free. And lastly, this is the 15-inch variant of the Good Stuff Glamrock Chica plush. Let me move this out of the way. I have it hanging on this little nail right here above my other shelf of other stuff. The tag's not in the best condition, but it's in decent. It's decent enough looking, I think. There's the touch tag. You can see the string there. As far as I'm aware, there is one more Glamrock Chica size I have to get, which is a size up from this, which I believe is a 17-inch variant. I'm not entirely sure if this is true. I don't know. I need to get some professional opinions on that. Maybe I can like email Good Stuff or something. I don't know. But yeah, that is more or less the largest size of this plush. You can see her right there. And then we have the 3 U2's Glamrock Chica plushies. First up being the standing Glamrock Chica. This came out in a wave with the 4 Glamrocks and the 4 classic animatronics all standing up straight. These ones were discontinued pretty quickly, so this is easily the rarest of the U2's Glamrock Chica plushies in the set, though it's not worth like a ton of money. It's definitely worth more than your typical U2's release just because these were pretty limited. I still have the hang tag and everything on it. Looks very, very cute and good condition. I'm very happy that this one was one I just kind of bought out of impulse. The other 2 I wasn't planning initially on buying until I started this whole collection, but this one I just bought because I thought it was cute at the time. And it ended up being the most valuable and rare one, so I'm very happy that I did that. And then next up is the sitting Glamrock Chica plushie. You can see I still have the hang tag down here. I think this one's my favorite of the U2's releases because not only is the pose very cute, I think they've fixed up the face proportions a lot, and this is just a very nice plushie. What I've always liked about the Glamrock Chica U2's plushies is that they use this like nice, like very bright pink for the main fur as opposed to the stark white that she's normally seen with. It's not super accurate, but I do think it really works well with her color palette and makes her look very warm and inviting. I think she's cute. But lastly, for the U2's plushies, we have the Shoulder Rider U2's plush. The whole thing with this thing is that it's smaller, and you're supposed to be able to sort of like put it under your shirt sleeve and magnetize it to it. So yeah, it sits on this little base. There's a big magnet in her butt, and she, you know, she's mostly just like a sitting plushie, slightly different position than the other 2. Very cute little variant of her. But yeah, there's the base that you're supposed to stick under your shirt, and then you put this on top of it, and she rides your shoulder. I don't know. It's a very strange gimmick. I don't know if people, like, actually wear these. And then we have the 2 specialized releases that don't really have any other variants from their respective sets. First up is the Hex Glamrock Chica plushie. Got all her magnet limbs. She still has her hang tag and her tush tag, doing that sort of like Hex style with the button eyes and such. It's a pretty different looking plush compared to a lot of the others, and very large actually. You can also see that she has her prop guitar, which I have currently situated around her neck, but she can hold it with magnets. I just think that this fits her better. It's nice to get some merch of her guitar because you don't really get it super often outside of the action figure. This is basically the only piece of merch with her guitar as far as I know. I actually do believe the dig kits used Glamrock Chica's guitar, which now that I think about it, I don't have that displayed. I should probably find that. I forgot about the dig kit guitars. I need to make sure I display that because that technically does count as a piece of merch from her. Here's also the Hex bag that technically does not count as part of the collection because it has the other Glamrocks on it. However, I decided to just leave it down here because it doesn't like take up a ton of space or anything, and I think it's nice to have a little base for her to stand on. And lastly for plushies, this is the Sanchy Glamrock Chica plush, which I think is my favorite of all the Glamrock Chica plushies. She's pretty close to looking game accurate, and I think she's really, really cute personally. I think cuter than the actual plush that's in Security Breach itself. I like all the material. She's very big and fluffy. She's got nice beans in her butt to help her sit down, and I think overall this is just the best of the Sanchy Glamrock plushies. I feel like they kind of botched Roxy and Monty, so the only one that's really competition to this is Freddy, and I still think he looks good, but I don't know, something about this just looks so cute to me. I really like her. She's got a very big smile. You can also see that she has the collector card that's inside her hang tag, which describes her personality a bit. Still in decent condition, and there's Shattered Chica on the card there. But yeah, very cool plush. One of my favorite Sanchy plushies. Kind of sad that they're not making that great of stuff anymore, but this was still a pretty good gem to have after their fall off, I suppose. And then lastly over here, this is not a plushie, but it is a neon light from Just Toys, which is a pretty neat release. You can see it does glow pretty bright. Obviously we're in a brightly lit room, so it's not going to be super bright or anything. But yeah, Just Toys released neon lights of Glamrock Chica and Glamrock Freddy, and then ended up getting the Chica one for the collection. Yeah, I don't know why they made these. They're very, like, spontaneous and spur of the moment in terms of merch, but, you know, it's a cute little thing. I think the Freddy one makes a little bit more sense than this one. I think this is supposed to be based off of the variants of the little Freddy security symbols that they made before Security Breach came out, though those don't really show up in game that much. I think one of the strangest things about this piece, and one of the things that a lot of people noticed when it came out, I think right here is supposed to be depicting the crop top that Chica wears. However, it kind of ends up just looking like a weird bow tie, and I don't know, it's very strange. I don't know how that happened. And then the actual bow that's on her hair is just a little nub, so, you know, take it to Just Toys to make some half-assed shit, but whatever. It's a cute enough display piece for the collection. I'm gonna move all the plushies back up here now. Alright, there we go. Look at that. I'm so magical. Kind of skipping the middle shelf to go to the bottom here since there's not a whole ton to show off. This is the sort of very rough bottom shelf of the collection. It's kind of just a lot of odds and ends here until I find a better way to display this stuff. But at the moment I have two in-box Glamrock Chica Funko action figures on the left and right. I tried getting ones that were more or less mint, however both of these seem to have odd defects. Of this one, I think getting creased while I was traveling. And then also this one that I didn't realize until after I bought it has this giant sort of a crack in the bottom of the plastic. So it looks fine from this angle, but when you look at the bottom, there's obviously a problem. I might just keep this one. I don't know if I'm really that worried about getting a super duper mint in box one as long as it looks fine from this angle. But who knows? I still need to get a Ruined Chica in box anyway if I really care that much, so it's really hard to say. I mostly only got these ones in box because they were ridiculously cheap at GameStop. I'm pretty sure I got these for like $7 each at different points of clearance stuff, so I don't know, we'll see. At the front here, we have 3 Glamrock Chica Just Toys fidget spinners. Very stupid and like low quality piece of merch that I don't think anyone really cares that much about, which is why it was clearance to begin with. I got all these on Black Friday where GameStop's clearance was 50% off, so not only was this $4 on clearance, I also got 50% off the $4, so this thing was like $2, which is why I thought it would be funny to buy 3 of them. So yes, I did in fact pay less for 3 of these on clearance than they were at retail for $8. Who was buying this at $8? I really gotta know. I mean, I guess me for my out-of-box one, but No, I'm actually pretty sure I still got this on sale. I don't think I paid full price for this either. Then over here, we have a pair of Glamrock Chica socks, not like the other socks I mentioned earlier that were only released by themselves. This came from a Security Breach multi-pack of socks that just so happened to have a pair of Glamrock Chica ones. I think these are actually really cute. I like the colors on them a lot, and this little, like, embroidered art or whatever you call it, like felted art into the sock itself, I think is very cute. I like her little face. But yeah, just like a random piece of clothing. I guess while we're talking about clothing, I might as well show off the extra clothing I have to the side that I don't have available to display here just yet. First up is this Hot Topic Glamrock Chica shirt that just kind of was from their regular graphic tee selection. Just 3 stealable renders of Glamrock Chica with the text on it. You can also see that she has a, you know, her hang tag still. This thing was $25. I don't think I spent that much on it secondhand, but yeah, decent little t-shirt. It looks fine, more or less. I also have both assortments of the Creator Inc. Glamrock Chica release, which I think these are slightly better. I find it really funny that they paired her aesthetic with the Glamrock Salon when that's more of Roxy's thing by especially Help 1 and 2 standards. I feel like it would have made more sense to put her with the bakery or something, but it is what it is. It is still a pretty cute shirt. You can still see it says large. This is a size large. I also have this shirt in the long sleeve variety with the added addition of the little scissors that run down the sleeves. So yeah, basically the same shirt. This one is in a size small. I think I actually got this on clearance on the Creator Inc. website itself. But yeah, that's all the random clothes things that I have. I'm gonna probably put these in a frame eventually, but this is just not quite the setup for that. This is still version 1.0 of the collection. I got more stuff to do. I want to get like a pin board and like t-shirt frames and like posters at some point to put up, but like I said, this is version 1. In the back here, we have 2 of the U2's boxes, one for Ruin Chica and one for Glamrock Chica. You know, they only made 2 figures of her. They never made like a shattered Chica U2s or anything. I figured it made more sense to display these from the back just because the art is on the back here and the front just doesn't really have anything that interesting going on. And then on the right here, we have what I call like a dud. This was me attempting to buy the larger version of the Good Stuff plushie that I was missing. However, it just kind of ended up being another one of those ones. I couldn't really tell by the pictures, and I don't think people that usually sell these tend to have the most accurate sizing available. Not like they really look up the variety that they have. They probably just eyeball it with a ruler and go, this thing's 17 inches, even though it's not. This one doesn't have the hang tag either, so like, I don't know, I might end up selling this or just leaving it for shits and giggles, but yeah, this is kind of just more like a dud in attempts to buy the larger one of that one that I don't have yet. And then on the left here, we have the BioWorld backpack. Got this for pretty cheap, I believe, around like a Black Friday sale, because these BioWorld backpacks are normally like $50, but this one, I'm pretty sure I only got it for like 16 bucks because it was very, very cheap on sale. Big reason why I don't have more stuff for this collection is because I try and get stuff at the cheapest as I can. Sometimes I can just get it secondhand for much cheaper than buying it firsthand, but yeah, that's kind of more or less why some stuff's not here. It's kind of funny, I think this BioWorld backpack is honestly more accurate to her plushie in-game than the Sanchi one, but also the Sanchi plushie is just generally cuter looking, so it really is picking your poison. I don't know, do you want game accuracy or do you want a cuter plush? It's kind of hard to tell. But now we have easily the densest area of the collection, the middle shelf. I'm going to start with these little guys hanging at the front here. These are many of the Just Toys keychains for Glamrock Chica. A lot of this stuff is Just Toys, you're gonna find out. They've made quite a few of these keychains. I believe I'm still missing 1 or 2 Glamrock Chica keychains from them. One of them's like the little space version of her. But this one right here is the Series 1 version, where you can tell she's not really painted very well. She has her guitar, pretty standard looking. By Series 3, they actually did manage to make her look quite better. She's got this like hands out pose. You can see that for some reason they came with these little like barcode tags. I don't know why. This was just how it was in the packaging. But yeah, this is Series 3. And then Series 3 also came with a whole bunch of rare versions you could get. Freddy, Vanny, and Chica were all in this gold-plated variety, whereas Roxy and Monty, I believe, were glow-in-the-dark. But yeah, this is a 1 in 54. This was very, very hard to pull. However, I ended up just finding one secondhand online, and I got it for like, I think like 20, 30 bucks, which sounds like a lot for a keychain, but considering this is a 1 in 54, I probably spent way less money buying it secondhand than trying to pull it from one of the boxes, because like, Jesus, these boxes can go anywhere from like $5 to $10 depending on where you buy them from, and it's like, this blind box stuff gets harder and harder to collect over time. Like, I remember when the damn mystery minis were $5, and these are like fucking like nice nice like vinyl figures. This is like a crummy, shitty Just Toys keychain. And lastly, this is the Just Toys Plushie Glamrock Chica keychain that my friend Roco got me for my birthday, I believe like 2 years ago. Very, very cute. I like her a lot. I want to get more of them because I think this one looks really funny. But yeah, these are pretty cool. And now as we move down here, here is probably one of the biggest pieces in the collection. This is one of Heather Master's Glamrock Chica Streamily prints. If I move all this stuff out of the way, you can see it is signed by her. Has a ton of her little like wordings on it. There's my name in the top left, which I think is really funny. But yeah, this is really cute art. I believe Snartles did the art for this. Correct me wrong if I'm editing. Go show who did the art for this. But yeah, I got it in this frame. It's very cute. It's nice to have her signature. She's the voice actress who did Glamrock Chica in Security Breach and Help Wanted 2. And the only reason I'm saying that, instead of just saying she's the voice actress who did Glamrock Chica, is because she's retiring from voice acting now, and she's not doing voice acting anymore. So if she ever shows up in another game, Glamrock Chica will be voiced by a different person, so that's going to be interesting. But to move on to all the things I pulled off of the front of this, here are 2 of the Fat Mojo Glamrock Chica trading cards. I'm still missing one of them. I believe it's like a gold trading card with the plushie of Glamrock Chica, but here is the first Chica card from Fat Mojo. That's the ultra rare one, and then this is the, I believe, common one. I think you could get these in like the grab and go packs. I can't remember specifically, but these, along with several items in this collection, were given to me graciously by Underscore. He more or less gave me all this stuff for free outside of paying for shipping. I did give him a little bit of extra money just for the gracious gift, but there's just so much stuff here that I have to attribute to him. Like the chocolate bar is one of those things. That would have been a pain in the ass to get secondhand, but he had it, so I was very grateful for that. Thank you so much, Underscore. Go subscribe. He makes funny videos. He makes funny videos. Imagine like he doesn't make theory videos. Like those are probably the least funny videos you can be making. This is the patch from Creator Inc. They made a set of 4 patches of all the Glamrocks. It's kind of funny. I think I actually do own every single piece of Creator Inc. Merchandise. I don't know why Chica looks as scuffed on this patch. She looks very strange. I think it's based off of one of the older posters for Security Breach, but the way they trace this art just does not look right. They gave her like weird fur textures and stuff. I don't know. Still has the backing on it and all that stuff. Ended up getting that secondhand. And then here is the BioWorld sticker. There's quite a lot of random BioWorld pieces of merch that a lot like Just Toys. BioWorld's made a lot of random shit. This was sold a Hot Topic for $2.99. But yeah, there is the sticker. Just gonna kind of forever sit on this thing, because I'm not sticking that to anything, because it's mint. It's mint in the box. Here is a Glamrock Chica bracelet that is not like specifically a piece of merch. This was given to me by I Am Reset Packs. I think I mentioned this in my PAX vlog a long time ago. But yeah, she gave this to me and I was like, I'll throw it on the shelf. It's not really like specific to any piece of memorabilia, but I thought it was cute. It has her color aesthetic. I think it's fine to throw it on the shelf. Here's a bunch of random stuff laid out. There's a ton of other stuff that's under the shelf that I'll get to at some point, but this is one of the Something Wild Funko trading cards, or like whatever, like game cards. I don't know. They made a bunch of these in different colors, and they had like a bunch of Security Breach Funko Pop designs that never got made on these cards, and Glamrock Chica was one of these characters. I don't know if they're gonna make Glamrock Chica as a Funko Pop. I think they might eventually, because they did end up making Roxy and Glamrock Freddy, so maybe someday we'll get a Glamrock Chica trading card or Funko Pop or whatever. I don't know. Maybe someday we'll end up getting a Glamrock Chica Funko Pop, which I wouldn't be against. I still don't have the ruined Chica Pop for this collection, which is really funny, but that's also just because it's like a common Funko Pop. So like I said, it's not something I'm super like, you know, like, oh god, I gotta get that the moment I see it, because it's gonna be around for a very long time, I have a feeling. Here is another Chica game card. I don't remember. This is for another one of the Funko games. I don't remember what it was called, but yeah, this is another one of the game Chica cards. You got her on here, and you got her in like a Security Breach room back here. But yeah, I think this is like, I don't know what this game was, but this is one of the other games. You can see, it's funny, you can see like the Funko action figure Monty outline in the top left. I think this is how I know this is a Funko thing, is because of that in particular. Here are 2 copies each of the different Glamrock Chica trading stickers. I don't remember what company made them, but there is like a set of FNAF trading stickers that got made a couple years back, and they had 2 Glamrock Chica ones, and I ended up getting 2 of each of them. So yeah, here are all 4 of them. There's this one of her in like her trailer render with like her signature on it and like the Pizzaplex background. And then this one of her more happy with her guitar, the pink background and the signature and stuff. But yeah, those are pretty cool. I have a couple copies of each of those. These are just a bunch of random Glamrock Chica stickers that Underscore threw into the box for free. You got a whole bunch of different Chica related renders, such as this one, I think from the files of the game that I think is on some of the hologram like billboards in the Pizzaplex. You have this piece of art that's in the salon. You have this poster, the fitness through food. I like this one a lot. Look at her, she's so cute. And then there's the first teaser for Glamrock Chica here as well, the party one. But yeah, whole bunch of stickers Underscore made for me, and I just thought I'd litter them around this little spot because I think it'd look cute. There's a lot of dust down here. I need to clean this. And then lastly, back here we have the Hex Glamrock Chica card. Very cute art. Love the expression and the little roaches. Very lovely. All right, now I'm gonna jump over here to show the couple of items that are over here. First up, we have the FYE Glamrock Chica chocolate bar. They made chocolate bars of Chica, Freddy, and Monty, and this one I believe is white chocolate. Yeah, it's cupcake flavor with white chocolate. Yeah, these were released pretty limited, and they don't make these anymore, and I didn't get one when they came out, but thankfully Underscore came in clutch and gave me this. This is definitely the most valuable thing I think they ended up getting me. I think I actually specifically asked them about this specifically, and then they just like, give me the list of things you need, and I'll see what I have. So that's how a lot of this other stuff made it into this collection. But yeah, on the back, you can see these were $5 when they came out, and this expired in 2024, so this is definitely no good anymore. I might try finding a way to seal this actually, just so it doesn't further rot. It's protected in aluminum, thankfully, but I still don't want that to like massively rot on my shelf. Actually, I'm gonna put that back when I'm done. Here is the Fizzy Faz bottle. This was like actual soda that they made of all the Glamrocks got different flavors of soda. I believe Roxy got 2 different kinds. I think one was like a cola and then one was like a grape. But yeah, they don't make these anymore either. I ended up dumping it and emptying it of all the liquid, but I think at some point I do want to put like a pink slime in here or whatever. I think I've been thinking about putting some kind of like pink slime substance so it doesn't go bad or anything, but it still looks like it's filled with something. I think that'd be very cute just to make it sparkle a little bit more on the shelf. I also might get a mint bottle of one of these. I don't know. I've been scared about keeping food items on this shelf, especially because this has definitely gone bad. I don't even want to think about what condition this is in under all this wrapping, but I'm probably going to find a way to like seal that some way, maybe laminate it. I don't know. Can you laminate a non-flat item? And I mean, it's kind of flat, just not like flatter than flat. It could be more flat. Here's also a little sticker booklet, which again would not count as part of this collection. However, there are 2 Glamrock Chica stickers on the sticker set that you could theoretically take off the sticker sheet. There's one there and then one there. So there's a little plushie. So it technically counts, and it's just kind of tucked back there. I'm gonna find a better spot for it eventually. I believe there's also another sticker sheet very similar to that I need to get soon. But yeah, kind of irritating. Here is my cacophony of different Glamrock Chica pins. They have a ton of these, and I'm still missing quite a few. But yeah, I already have a ton of these little pins. Starting from the very left, we have this little BioWorld pin. It's like a little star with the BioWorld Chica art on it. Pretty cute. I do like that one a lot. And then we have the Glamrock Chica fig pin. I still have to get the Shattered Chica pin because they did actually make a Shattered Chica one for this set. For some reason, Shattered Chica has a lot more merch of her than any of the other Shattered Glamrocks, which is very surprising to me because it's like, I don't know. I mean, I like Shattered Chica, but she's probably the least interesting out of the 4. Like, I don't know. It's very weird. Actually, no, Shattered Freddy is definitely less interesting, but he also doesn't really show up in the game at all. That's not really fair to him. Here is the U2's sitting pin. This one, I believe, came in the multi-pack with all the other Glamrocks and I think like the wet floor sign or whatever, and Vanny. You could also buy this separately though, and I think it's very cute. It's a nice little pin or whatever. Here is one of the 2 premium Glamrock Chica pins they made. This one being the pin with the dangly earrings. I really like this one. I think it's very cute. It's fun to shake. I do eventually want to get a pin board for all the pins. I think I'm going to get like a pink pin board I can put somewhere, but obviously I don't have that yet. Here is the 3rd of the Glamrock Chica pins. This is kind of like the dangle, like, connecting pin with the pizza on the end. You kind of have her in this very, like, happy jumping pose, and then some pizza on the end so she can, like, catch the pizza and eat it. She goes like, or something, I don't know. Just one more. And then some other more miscellaneous pins. Here is the Sanchi Glamrock Chica pin. They make little plushie pins with all the releases of their plushies, and that's the Glamrock Chica one that they made. Nothing crazy special. It's really small for being, $12. I'm pretty sure that was $12. I mean, like, the difference between, like, these two is kind of staggering. I'm pretty sure those are the same price. Here is the Glamrock Chica plushie pin that was a part of the Security Breach Collector's Edition. It came with a lot of random things, and one of them was you can see the packaging for it down there, a set of 4 Glamrock plushie pins, and Glamrock Chica was one of them. So, like I said, it counts as part of the collection. I also have the Vanny U2s from that Collector's Edition. I honestly just bought a version of the Collector's Edition used. It was like $80, so it was like a whole, like, $40 cheaper than buying it retail, so I think I gotta find enough deal, to be honest. Here's another miscellaneous pin. I'm not sure who specifically made this, but it is of the actual 2D art that Steelwool did for Security Breach. Very cute. I like this pin a lot. I think I've got a couple other random ones similar to this, but yeah, there's a lot of random miscellaneous things like this that just kind of exist, and I don't really remember the specific company names for. And then we have the Creator Inc. Glamrock Chica pin. Like the patch, this came in a set of the 4 Glamrock ones. However, you can take this apart from the set. As you can see, it is by itself. So yes, this does in fact count as part of the collection. And lastly, we have a Glamrock Chica badge, button, badge, pin. I don't know what you call this. Either way, this is one of the 3 Glamrock Chica badges from PAX West 2023. I went to PAX 2024. However, Steelwool also did a PAX 2023 event where there was a whole bunch of different pins, and there were 3 Glamrock Chica ones. One of this one, which I didn't even know existed until I found it. And then the other 2, which are a lot more common, is the Shattered Chica pin and the, I think it's there's the Shattered Chica pin, and then there's the Space Chica pin, which is kind of funny because there's also the Space Chica with the keychain, but you know. I didn't even know that they made this pin for PAX West. There's very little documentation of the specific things that they made for this event. This one, along with the Space pin and the Shattered Chica pin, definitely seem to be the only 3 Glamrock Chica pins that they have. So, thankfully, I'm going to track them all down. It's just, you know, the other ones are kind of expensive, and they've been floating on eBay for a bit, so I'm going to be able to get them one way or another. Here's the fig pin box. There are a couple miscellaneous items I don't have displayed as of now that I'm going to go through. Mostly these little trading cards that are more stuff that is kind of derivative to have on the setup. I need to do more research in this specifically, but here are what I'm assuming is the only 3 stickers from the Fat Mojo Grab and Go bundles. We have just Glamrock Chica's head cut off very weirdly in Photoshop. That's just a sticker that's in there. The 2D Steelwool art, I believe this is from one of the cutouts in the game. And the Glamrock Chica plushie, again, kind of weirdly cut out in Photoshop. Those are all stickers from the Fat Mojo Grab and Go bundles. I think there might be more. I don't know, maybe those are the only ones. I'm hoping that they are the only ones, because it's like, who's gonna be fucking selling a random sticker? Here's the other Glamrock Chica card, by the way, from the Security Breach other Funko game that I don't know the name of. But anyway, I'm keeping this in the collection because it has Chica's green room and she's right there, so I think it counts. And then the other color varieties of the Something Wild cards. So you have the purple, the green, the blue, and the red. I kept the green. Did I call yellow green? I kept the green on the set because I think the green fits the most, because that's the only one of these colors that's actually in Glamrock Chica's, like, color palette. I think that's why I decided to keep it on there, but yeah, there's all that. Hot Topic made a lot of random Glamrock jewelry. I believe this is a BioWorld piece as well, based on the artwork, but yeah, there was this little, set of 2 necklaces that you could get with Freddy and Chica, which I think is meant to be like couples necklaces, but yeah, here's the Chica variety of those on the little arcade machine. Again, very random pieces sometimes in this collection. It's just kind of just whatever. Sometimes it's just like the most random bullshit. This is what I mean when I say the Glamrocks were merchandise to hell and back, because there's so much just random bullshit. And then we have 3 Glamrock Chica mystery minis. I have more Glamrock Chica mystery minis, honestly, but I just gotta find other places to scatter them around the collection. These aren't really special or unique, at least in between them. They're just very standard. 3 of the mystery minis, as well as the Blacklight Glamrock Chica mystery mini. Not to be confused with the Blacklight Glamrock Chica plushie. They're completely different color palettes. I don't know how this happens. Yeah, this one's from the same set. pretty cute. Here is a Just Toys little minifigure of Glamrock Chica. I believe this is from one of the Digging Kit series. I think they've made 2 series of the Digging Kits, actually, so I think I need to get both Digging Kit figures. But yeah, this is the Mining Kit figure from Series 1, and I think there's still the Series 2 one I have to get, which sucks, but whatever. And then we have 2 Circus Chica Mystery Minis. Now, the funny part is that these actually aren't 2 identical Circus Chica Mystery Minis. One of these is actually the glow-in-the-dark one. I'm gonna have to show you. Okay, it's gonna come up on camera. Well, it's glowing, but it's not really showing up on the camera at all. Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, it's coming up very faintly on camera here, but you can see it just barely glowing, like just a little bit. You can see the other one to the left of it, it's glowing just like a little bit. But yeah, this is the glow-in-the-dark one. So moving on from that, we have 2 of these Cybercell Glamrock Chica cards. These are like weird little like cell, like animated cell frame things. I don't really know what the point of these is, but I think they're supposed to look like cells of like animation, because there's like a transparent clear plastic layer with the art on it or whatever, and then it's got like this border around it. Again, I don't know. They're like supposed to, it's made by the Fig Pin people as far as I know, so I don't know. But yeah, they made these for Help Wanted too. They made like a common Shattered Chica one, and then they also made like a ultra rare Glamrock Chica, which is like shiny and shit. Unfortunately, the logo on this one looks a little scuffed. I think it came off a little bit before this person put it in a sleeve, because I bought it like this in the sleeve. But it's fine, it looks good enough. And then up here, you have more just kind of miscellaneous stuff over here. You have the Glamrock Chica Blacklight Slime. As far as I know, there's pink slime in here. Never opening it. I'm just gonna leave this mint like this because the slime inside it's not really specific, and I want to keep it, you know, good condition or whatever. But yeah, anyway, there's like the Just Toys head sculpt on this. It counts. Not much else to say. Here is the little Glamrock Chica figurine that comes from the little Fat Mojo Grab Go bundles or whatever, the grab packs. I don't really remember specifically what they're called. But yeah, there's the little Glamrock Chica figurine. Mostly unpainted, but I think at least it's a cute sculpt. The pink is very not consistent though. I don't know why they picked that shade of pink. And then you have an unpackaged version of the fidget spinners that I showed off earlier. Yeah, it's not really anything. There's some numbers on her butt. It's big 2026, and there's still fidget spinners and they're talking about them still. Oh my god, I just realized 2016 was the fidget spinner year. Jesus Christ, it's been 10 years since fidget spinners. What are we fucking doing? Here are the 2 unpackaged U2s. On the left here, you have the first Glamrock Chica, which was one of the earlier FNAF U2's releases. So her eyes don't look as cute as I would like them to, but it's fine. I like the pose she's in. The colors are more or less fine. They kind of picked a weird shade of purple for her, but other than that, decent little figure. 2022 Scott Cawthon with the U2 symbol on the bottom. And then the much, much better Ruined Chica figure. Very, very cool. I like this one a lot. This one's from 2024. This got delayed very heavily from the original Ruin Wave because people thought that the original teaser images for this figure did not look very good. They looked kind of bad, and I'm gonna be inclined to agree because those teaser images looked a little rough. She wasn't in a very good pose, nor did it really make much sense for her. But when they fixed it, boy howdy did they make a cool ass Ruined Chica figure, because she's got all like this garbage and stuff on the base, and it's like she's got like this cool ass pose, and there's all this detail with like the yucky cheese and like the wires and the endo. Like, oh my god, like they put a shit ton of effort into this figure. Not sure if that translated into sales, but it is just genuinely hilarious because I feel like out of all of that wave, I think this is the best one. Like, this is just easily the best figure from the Ruin Wave because of that. The Mimic is also pretty good from that wave, but like this one has like the unique base and shit too. It's just like, this is just such a good figure, like wow. And lastly, we have the 4 kind of articulated figures, I guess, of Glamrock Chica. You have the first Funko Glamrock Chica figure with the beta guitar. So I guess I should also amend my statement from earlier where I said we haven't gotten a lot of Glamrock Chica guitar merch. That's the only piece of actual Glamrock Chica guitar merch, because this is the beta version of the guitar that never made it into the game. And then this is the one that actually made it in the game. Everyone says this figure looks like shit, and they're right. She looks like a weird pelican. They like inbred the original Chica sculpt into whatever the hell this thing is, and it looks really bad. Thank God we're getting a better Glamrock Chica figure with the Jazzwares one. I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna get that. And then you have the Funko Ruined Chica figure, which is, oh my god, so much better than the original. Like, Jesus Christ. I mean, it helps that this is definitely one of Funko's best action figures, just generally speaking. Really good sculpt, very good details. The paint looks good. There's some nice dirt washing on her. Like, yeah, this is just generally a really great action figure. Like, again, I don't know why Ruined Chica specifically gets such a good merch, but hey, girl, I mean, you're doing something right. Good job, Funko. You made something good before you completely kicked the bucket and ate shit, but it's fine. And then you have the Circus Chica action figure. As I stated earlier, I think Circus Chica counts as part of this collection, and here's her action figure. She's got her little weird water bottle sprayer thing in one hand. The sculpt is cute. Never really had anything against the circus designs. The balloon designs I kind of thought were a little silly, but the circus designs were fine. Kind of wish that the game that this was clearly for got made. I'm interested to see what that would have been. Maybe. I don't know, maybe it would have been shit. Maybe that's why it got canceled. The last piece that I'm showing in the collection today is the Glamrock Chica Funko Snap. Currently rocking the Shattered Chica face due to the fact that this is the only technically Shattered Chica figure that we have. The regular face is still just kind of sitting on the shelf there, but yeah, she's got the guitar. Oh, wait. I'm a fucking liar again, dude. The guitar's right here. How did I forget about that? Anyway, yeah, there's the guitar. There's the Chica guitar as her accessory. Her head swivels. Her arms turn. She's very cute. I like this one a lot. This is a good figure. Thank you, Funko, for making a decent Glamrock Chica figure. Even if it's just a weird chibi small version of her, but it's close enough. Thanks, guys. But yeah, that's about it for my Glamrock Chica shelf, or at least this current version of it. I do want to eventually do more videos talking about various updates and rearrangements to the shelf. As I've talked about before, I do want to make this look a little bit better. I've got different aspirations for things like the t-shirts. I want to get like a cute pink pin board for all the pins and stuff eventually, along with just other additional pieces of the collection, because I think the only Glamrock Chica merch we know of on the pipeline right now is the Jazzware stuff, so the Endo Series figure and the little chibi figure. But yeah, I'm making my strides in this. Hopefully I'll have another update video maybe in the next year or so on this, and I do want to eventually do a full room tour. You can see, again, other parts of shelves that I have not talked about in this video. I'm not going to go as extensive on every little piece and thing in my room probably when I do that, but I just want to talk about all the little individual items because they all have their own little stories, I think. I love Glamrock Chica with all my heart. I think she's a really cool character and she makes me happy, so I want to get some fan-made merch. There's like those fan-made squishmallows I've seen of Glamrock Chica, and I really want to get that because I think it's cute, but also I don't know if they make them anymore, question mark. I don't know. There's a lot of cool stuff I want to get for this collection, both official and fan-made. So I'll update you all eventually on this collection again whenever I get more stuff and I rearrange more things and I get more shelf space for things. But yeah, thank you guys for watching my cool video. Goodbye.